Dr. Moses Rugutt. I come from Kenya. Kenya is about 8-9 hours flight from here. I work for the Ministry of Education, and under the Ministry of Education, I head our National Commission for Science, Technology, and Innovation. It's a government body which advises the government on new emerging sciences, especially a good example will be the synthetic biology. We also have the mandate of registration of research institutions and assuring quality therein, and generally promote issues of science and technology. This is, of course, the latest science which is upcoming, and the fact that we'll be talking about the bioeconomy. Kenya, as you realize, is in the equator. We have a lot of diverse biological resources, right from the highest altitude of, say, 19,000 feet in Mount Kenya, down to the sea, the Indian Ocean, at just a few feet above sea level. And cutting across all, you'll find various biodiversity. 24/7, of course, throughout the whole year. We have the pests, which are domicile in the tropics. We do not have winter, we do not have summer, and we do not have that. So ideally, we are in a bread basket of all the various bioorganisms. What is relevant about us in this is we've come in with a delegation of about 10 to 12 people from the universities, from research institutions, from academia. We are accompanied as a leader of our delegation by our principal secretary, which is an equivalent here of a permanent secretary of our agricultural research. Our biggest issue in Africa is insufficient or food insecurity. And food insecurity can only be solved by either adopting dotterel and maize, or crops, considering the fact that we are in a climate change situation where there's change in climatic conditions. There are new pests as a result of the climate change and many other challenges. Food insecurity is the key. Obviously, another problem is on the issue of universal health, or the issues of health problems. We see a potential where we can use the bioorganisms to actually address some of the emerging diseases. Issue of industry, issue of pollution, for example. Nairobi, for example, would be generating tons and tons of wastes per day. And if they can be biodegradable, the better. How would you use science and technology to make sure that actually we generate and digest our waste and make sure that that waste again eventually would be used either biofertilizer or anything else? So we are here to look for solutions. And I must say Kenya is a very active research culture. We have international research organizations domiciled in Nairobi, International Livestock Research Institute, which actually addresses issues of livestock research on an international scale. The World Agroforestry Center is also domiciled in Nairobi. We have, I must say, it's quite a diverse International Center for Insect Physiology and Ecology, for example, what they call ICP, looking into how to address issues of insects. We have International Center on Agriculture, SIAD for tropical agriculture and like. So you have quite a domicile of scientists. We have a very active university system. We're speaking about 70 universities. We're speaking about research institutions. So all that, we have actually the manpower. What I'm taking out from here is we need to have 3 fellows in a conversation at a very young age. You need a biologist who understands how biological systems work, how the virus replicate. You need an engineer, or if not an engineer, a physicist who will understand how you can split enzymes. And then you need, of course, a software engineer, somebody who will then now make that a software to make sure that you produce. So I think I'm on a learning mission, but we want to effect this into policy. We have made an attempt. I think we are one of the few countries where we succeeded in having our biotechnology policy about 20 years ago. We set up a national biosafety authority, and we are looking into issues of genetically modified. But we would want a whole policy on how to move biosciences, how to actually exploit bioorganisms. So our bioeconomy thinking means that we must have a biological science policy, then develop a strategy which can actually use this. By the way, maybe a story was told, and it is true, along our lakes, especially along the Rift Valley, we have quite a number of lakes which are alkaline in nature, where you will find that actually you have the acacias and the hot water springs coming out. Out of one of those hot water springs was isolated a bacteria which is driving the textile industry. Some of these genes, which never fades away, I'm told was exploited from a bacteria from there. And so people have already started knowing that we can actually have some of these. You can imagine isolating a bacteria at 2,000 degrees centigrade, which is actually coming out from boiling. What is it which we can do? And many more along. So I think we need much more research, as I said, right from 19,000 feet all the way to zero. What are the biosystems which are there? And it's only science which can solve our problems. The big thing which doesn't seem to drive new science in the world, everything else is suspicious, is trust. Scientists are not trusted. But I think if we work as a team, you see, if you talk as a Kenyan and you would want to tell them that how good this science can move us, like genetic engineering or use of genetically modified organisms, for example, they would think that you are either going crazy or something. But if there was some active collaborations between our universities, be it from UK, be it from where and the like, and then we sit together and explain this, people can actually take you serious. I think the word is trust. I've always had an incident where I went to school in UK, and the story then you remembered when the Roslin Research Institute in Edinburgh had Dolly the ship, and it wasn't good for science. Down, of course, even here in Europe, around that period, the early 90s, people were still demonstrating and plowing the farms at night to say that you are planting genetically modified food here. And so soya bean was plowed at night, rapeseed. And it is now, I think almost all of us are probably having, in one way or another, have taken genetically modified organisms. Maybe if we had good, maybe using religion, using what and the like, it would be accepted worldwide. But I think the take-home message is Europe and the Western world do not lack food. You have excess food because you have gotten it from various sources. You are not having pests and the like. The same technology should not be denied to Africa. We should actually, but you should not deny the technology to Africa. But we need to assist one another to tell them that this is not a dangerous technology. So when we want to move something, for example, in Africa and say, can we go for genetically modified organisms, you'll find Greenpeace party in Europe saying, no, it is dangerous. And yet in Europe, people are actually not having food and security. So we are actually in dire need to share this to the entire world, and that some of these technologies are good. Open up your science to say, yes, we are safe. It's only that it's our own political opinion. That is why it is more of a party affair. Greenpeace versus non-Greenpeace. Thank you very much.